I'm an adventurer, okay? I like diving in dungeons, but you guys, you keep asking for how to ranch monsters, how to breed them. I want to milk that man. So today, I'm gonna put on my cowboy hat, I'm gonna buckle my boots, put on my milk gloves, and I'm gonna get to business. Part 1. Why are we doing this? So every livestock is a source of renewable eggs, or you can butcher and kill them for their meat, and some can be sheared for their special furs like cashmere or dragon scale. Cashmere is especially good to craft with because it'll increase the sales price. You can get +1 to the quality for every 10 levels a monster has. If we're just looking for food and fur, the setup actually isn't that bad. We need a couple things to get started though. A, you're gonna need your livestock. So in this game, anything can actually be livestock, even humans. All you have to do is go to your resident board and say change to livestock. Now, when you do that, your resident will stop doing their job. They're going to turn into livestock, and their only job is going to be to produce fur and milk. This is just temporary until you change them back into a villager. Fun fact, there's no limit on livestock like there is for residents. Everything can be a livestock, but I found that the more dangerous the monster, the less items it's going to produce. Alright, now we got to ask, how do we actually get a livestock? And there's a few ways. One of the easiest ways is just to go find an animal merchant, say like in Yawen, and just go buy an animal from them and bring it back. If you don't want to pay a merchant, you can use a monster ball. All you got to do is beat something up to 10% of its health and throw it at it to capture it. You get a free Snow Petite in the mail once a year, which is the main example I've been using in this video. Every now and then, a monster will lay a fertilized egg. This egg can be taken and placed in a bed and hatched. Once the baby hatches, it can be fed milk, and after it's got enough milk, it'll turn into an adult version of that monster. Next, you're going to need a whole lot of pasture. Your animals don't need it to live, but without it, they're not going to produce any fur or milk. You can plant your own, but I'd just go harvest it. Just make sure you have a shared container in your base so they can get to it. You can use your resident board to check how many you have and how many you're consuming per day. Alright, so we got our pasture, we got our animal. That's everything we need to get fur and eggs. If farming is the skill for plants, then taming is the skill for animals. The two main ways to raise the skill is shearing and brushing. Pause real quick for the tool pipeline. When you're holding the shears, there'll be an icon over the animal's head if you can shave them for fur. And there's different stages of growth. Only livestock can go past newly grown, but when you hover over them, you can see where they're at. A tip for my adventurer friends, you can forcibly shave a monster, so while you're in a dungeon, you can raise your taming skill, and you can get cool things like dragon skins, such as fireproof. Same thing goes for brushing. You can non-consensually brush monsters and possibly increase your affinity. It's based on your charisma and your taming skill. One mad lad managed to recruit a monster this way, but I don't know if it's really reasonable. Just don't forget you can brush your homies. And the last tool we gotta talk about is the butcher knife. If you're a fucking psychopath, you can permanently kill your monster for a big ol' stack of meat. I do want to let you know, you can kill them without the butcher knife and they will respawn, but you're going to obviously get way less meat this way. One last thing, you can see I have a ranch sign right here. This is not necessary at all, but it makes the monsters gather around it. If you put it inside of a fenced area, it'll take the shape of that. This is the second half of the video. It's a little more advanced. I would even say it's in-game content. I'm using the milk stat mod, but I'll link everything I use in the description. I've thrown a lot at you, so I just want to focus this for a second. The end goal is to take a livestock baby, feed it incredibly strong milk, and turn it into a very powerful combat ally. Babies inherit stats from whatever milk they're drinking, and the incubator lets the baby drink more milk. To start with, you need an incubator and you need a bunch of love potions. And just know you can get love potions from drug dealers or vending machines. I milked a whole lot of monsters for this video. To keep it simple, you need to get a monster that's higher than its normal base value and throw a bunch of love potions at it. The easy way to do that is to go to a war quest mission and make it to the end for that shiny monster, or if you've made it to the void, it's like an in-game endless dungeon, you can find monsters like that there as well. Interesting note, just because the milk is +1000, your taming skill has to actually be pretty high to get the full use. We're not quite to 4 minutes, so thank you everybody that helped. Mwah!